And that for the first time ever, I think I'd lived there at that point about 4 or 5 years. And in the 10 years I lived there, the only time that we had Mormons knock on the door was while the Taco Bell crew was in the living room filming me. And I think I was getting changed or something, but like the director answered the door and was like, "The madam of the house is busy, sorry."
But like, where do you put it all? Right, like you have to have like
I'm
a lot
asking
of
myself a lot these days. With like, I really enjoyed making that dragon puppet last month, and like I remember talking to my partner, like, I want to make more, and he's like, "Where are we going to put them?"
You're like, I don't know.
We'll figure that out later.
Yeah. Do you have like an attic you can store things into, or like?
No, we're in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess you could get like a storage container if you really wanted to. Like a store. Do you have like storage like buildings? Can you imagine opening that storage bin though and like just
these are my dragons? Yeah.
You have like a throne in the middle and all the dragons are like around it and you're like, sometimes I just come in here to sit.
Exactly. That's my me time.
That's my me time. They like shut the garage door on you and you're like, let me out in an hour.
Yeah.
I really like that visual. I've like stopped doing intros, so I'm just gonna like whatever we were just talking about, we're just gonna roll right into it.
Cold cut.
Yeah, just cold cut into it. And I'm gonna ask you, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Olivia Mears. I go by AvantGeek online, and for the most part, I'm a costumer, cosplayer. Lately, I've been doing more concept art for character and costume design. And then I also like to make puppets and little sculptures of weird little dudes.
What is your weirdest little dude?
Right now, there's this like chubby little mushroom guy sitting on my kitchen counter that he kind of looks like the little mushroom guy from Dark Souls, but when you turn him around, he's got just very juicy butt cheeks.
And is he's the only caked up mushroom in your house, or is there
so
to
far
be a series? Okay, so like you're planning on increasing the thickness of the mushroom, the weird mushrooms going forward.
Yeah. Maybe I won't stop at mushrooms. There's a lot of weird little guys to be made.
And to be caked up, like
yeah,
you could do anything with juicy cheeks.
Yeah, this is like my God moment of I'm bringing this thing into creation. Yeah. What can I do for it to make sure it's living a good life?
Right.
Take it up.
Right. Take it up. That way it can throw ass and it doesn't like have to like go to college. Like you could just go straight to like the club. Yeah. That's personally my dream, but like
I hate having to go to college to learn how to throw ass.
There's so few colleges that teach it anymore, and college is so expensive. Why are we not throwing more ass for free? Yeah, no, that's good. I'm so glad. So besides your little dudes and stuff, you are most well known for, I'm gonna say on the internet, for your costumes and your cosplays. When I met you, I think I had probably seen you around the internet just because you legitimately come up on my Pinterest like all the time where I'll be like, oh, Halloween costume ideas, and then literally it just happened like a week ago. I was scrolling through, I was like, Josh, look. It's like, oh, it's Olivia. I was like, yeah. That's really so fun. Strange. But like
it makes me regret not posting like a really like close up just ugly face with everything I've ever posted, so that it inevitably ends up in those search results too. It's just like jump scares.
There's still time. Like I think you can still do this. You're still very relevant on the internet.
Thank you for believing in me.
Yeah, no, I'll constantly believe in you for sure. That's my whole job. You introduced me to you, I think formally, by showing me your Taco Bell dress, and it was like the most magical thing I'd ever seen. And I need to know, like, where did it start? Like, just let's go back, way back, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You create some really really fucking cool stuff, and you're very good at it. And I want to know, like, how did you get into that? Did you just like come out the womb just like sewing, or
Yeah, it was like a magician's scarf, just the fabric kept coming.
and then you came along with it and you're like,
Yeah.
here I am, I made this in here. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I think the first thing that I made, well, my grandma got me into sewing, like little teddy bears and pillows when I was real little, and I'd make like Christmas gifts for my teachers at school, and they were very supportive about it to the point that I was like, I can make more things. And so I wanted to make my Halloween costume when I was 11, mostly because I wanted to be Link from Legend of Zelda, and there's no store selling Link costumes. Um, so I took a green pillowcase out of the linen closet, cut some holes into it, and then like resewed like little sleeves and like made a little belt. Um, did like a little marker drawing of the shield and taped that to the front of my little Halloween candy basket.
So cute.
And then I think I just used like I taped like craft foam to my ears to give myself elf ears.
I love
And
that so much.
I was so happy and so proud of being Link for Halloween. And everyone thought I was Peter Pan, but that's okay because that's so close. It's like, yeah, I nailed it.
like thank you. I mean, yeah, kind of. There's similar character designs in the first place, so like whatever.
Right.
And so you just moved straight from there. You were like, okay, I can make anything.
Yeah, well, my mom didn't know I took the pillowcase out of the closet and turned it into a costume until Halloween, and I was wearing it, and she's like, okay. So she bought me a sewing machine.
Oh, okay, so there's two ways she could have gone with that. It's like, why'd you take the fucking pillowcase? And she bought you a sewing machine.
Yeah.
That's very wholesome.
She had one of her friends come over and teach me how to use it, and just from there I was making like little outfits for my dolls to have the same outfits from the show Cardcaptor, magical girl show, and she got like a new outfit every episode, and it was basically Sailor Moon plus Pokemon.
Oh,
I was all about it.
Cardcaptor?
Yeah, so she's a magical girl who, well, she's an ordinary girl who opens up a magic book full of cards, and they kind of look like tarot cards. They're really cool, and they're of different creatures and hot ladies. And when she opens the book, she sets all the cards free, and they become like actual like monsters in the world that she has to go recapture and put back into the book. And every time she captures one, she can use their card in battle against more monsters.
This looks so cool.
It's so much fun, and it's so cute. And every episode, she has a friend make her a new outfit for whatever monster she's going after. And I wanted all of them for myself, but first I made them for my doll. And I think I still have all of those little pieces, but that kind of inspired the cosplay that would come.
How did you ever make the life-size version for yourself of like the outfits that she wore in the show?
It's on my bucket list.
Oh, so you're planning on it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
What is the first outfit that you like are like, that's the one that I've always wanted, so I'm gonna make it?
There's like a really big white dress. I forgot what episode, but it's like a high-low white dress with lots of frills and ribbon, and she's got like white angel wings on her back. And I kind of want to do a mashup of that with Madoka Magica.
I don't know what that is either.
Another magical girl anime that you might enjoy. I think it would be especially fun if you watched Cardcaptor and then watched Madoka Magica. No reason, no spoilers.
Okay. I'm putting them both on my list.
Madoka Magica is not the same age range as Cardcaptor.
Okay. I'm getting a sense maybe it's a little older from the photos.
There's definitely like a flip, a switch at some point in the show.
Oh Lord, this looks, you know what? I'm not gonna actually spoil anything else for myself. I'm just gonna let that be. You can still watch these then. Like these are still available on like places. Any places where you can watch anime.
There's a lot of Cardcaptor fans. There's dozens of us.
It doesn't. Are you part of like the fan club? Are you the president?
Not yet.
Okay,
Soon, I have a feeling.
making your
Um,
way.
yeah, I have way more LimeWire downloads than the current president, so I think that says something.
LimeWire is a word that definitely exists and has taken me back to many, many viruses on my
Oh yeah.
parents' computer.
I'm almost certain it was from trying to download Card Captor through LimeWire that I got viruses on my parents' computer.
Absolutely. So, okay, hold on. So, I did have a question. Maybe I'll still save it for in a little bit. I'll save it. Let's go back. It'll come up
Okay.
again. Don't worry. You started making your own costumes. Wanted to make your costumes for your dolls. At what point did it start to become who you are now in this whole like grandiose costume making that you do?
So I think making my first costume at 11, I want to say that just about every Halloween after that, I would keep making my own costumes, but that was about it until basically college. And anytime there was kind of like a freestyle art project in my classes, I would make it wearable.
That's cool.
And I went for I started out in musical theater. Decided nope. Went into graphic design. That was fine, but then I went and finally changed it to art education, and that's where I had all of my art classes. And so it was all the fundamentals, different like mediums, and especially with sculpture and the painting classes, I started to branch out and try and make my projects wearable anytime I could. So I made like a dragon scale armor set out of foam and hot glue. And in my painting class, that's where I made my very first like paint drip dress to
Ooh,
look like paint that was still like dripping off of the model. Um, and I think that that's where it really was like, I love this and I wanna keep doing this as much as possible. And I was in the right environment that, like, outside of classes, I could just have the time to make cosplay and whatever I wanted to do, and, didn't really have the funds for, fancy fabric, and I was, like, an hour away from the closest fabric store anyway. So, finding, like, things at Goodwill, at different thrift stores, trying to use curtains and bed sheets and eventually food wrappers and just whatever trash that was clean enough to use started to become very common in a lot of what I made. And I just kept going with it.
that makes a lot of sense now that I know the origins of the Taco Bell dress, and I think you have
Mhm.
just made a dress just like your wasn't it just like trash? Like it was just like recyclables or something?
You gotta narrow it down. Yeah, there's there's probably like 10 or so dresses at the point that are just trash.
That's fair. What is your favorite thing you've ever made?
My favorite thing I've ever made, um, other than maybe the Charizard puppet recently,
Yeah,
as far
that's
as like
new.
but actual costumes, I think the last paint dress I made that was, like, rainbow, um, and, like, fell all the way to the floor and wrapped around my feet, that I think is still my favorite.
How
But
do you store these things? Like we just were talking about storage, but like how do you store all of these things?
So a lot of the unconventional dresses don't last for very long.
Yeah.
The paint dresses last about a year before they start to get too dry and crumble.
Oh, I didn't
Um
think about that.
I mix latex into them to keep them flexible while wearing, but, like, even latex eventually, like, will dry out. But yeah, a lot of them, like, surprisingly lie flat, and because they're, like, paper and just all these tiny little materials, they're easy to fold,
Hmm.
and so I just fold them up and put them in a storage bin, and then hope they don't get too wrinkled.
Yeah. For the dresses that don't make it, is that like sad or is that something where you're like, well, it had its moment, so I guess
Yeah, yeah, it lived its life. There's been a couple dresses where it's like, I kinda wish I'd made this out of actual fabric and been able to keep it, but it wouldn't have been as fun for me to make, and, a lot of the dresses, there's like a purpose behind them, whether it's for a contest or, Like I made a wrapping paper dress where the top of it looked like book spines, and that was for a local library to have on display for Christmas.
That's
And
so
so like
cool.
that one kind of fell apart faster than I wanted it to. And I had a skirt that was like book pages, and that was super fragile because all the actual pieces of the books I used were donated from a local bookstore that they were going to throw away because they were so far gone, and like no one's going to buy these. And so instead of them getting thrown away, like turn them into a dress, but it's still so fragile that like
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you ask for those things? Like, do you ask like businesses in places? Like, you have to have the same problem I do of like asking people for bugs. Like, oh, do you have any dead bugs? Like that sort of thing. Do you ask people for those things?
I do. And once I show them like a picture on my phone, it usually is like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is legit. Um, there's been a lot of confusing moments, but I think my favorite thing about that is that after I made the first Taco Bell dress, that was out of not Taco Bell Beauty and the Beast Bell, but just the restaurant, and it was just food wrappers. Oh, hello. Cat just jumped on my desk.
Oh, cat! Oh my god, the famous. Oh, hello.
Famous Edgar.
Edgar is
Mm.
in a lot of your photos, so like I already feel like I know Edgar a little bit.
Mm-hmm. A little celebrity.
Oh my god.
He just woke up from the nap and already in an interview.
The life of a celebrity, truly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
But yeah, the second time I went into the same Taco Bell to ask for wrappers, the person came out, and this is a different person that I'd not met before, but they came out with a stack of different wrappers, put them on the counter, and said, "Please choose your fabric, madam."
That's so wholesome. Oh my god, I love that. Did you go back and like show them at this
Oh
Taco Bell
yeah,
what you'd made?
yeah.
That's
At
amazing.
least as long as I was like living in that area, every time I walked in that Taco Bell, if someone like recognized me or asked if I was that person, like I would take the time to talk and show them any photos if I had something new.
That is so cool. Okay, so you're no stranger to asking people like, "Hey, can I just like have some of whatever this is cuz I need it for a thing."
Yeah. I think the only problem, like the only downside, other than like, the general social anxiety of it, is that sometimes I'm given like way too much.
Uh-huh.
um, I made I was making a Mountain Dew dress, and I had quite a few wrappers just kind of like that my family had gathered for me. And I was like, okay, if I want to make this a ball gown, I'm going to need quite a few more. And my dad actually worked down the road from one of their manufacturing plants, like bottling facilities.
Whoa.
And he went and asked for me and showed the guy there in charge some of my photos. And they sent like this huge like wheel of Mountain Dew labels that hadn't been unwrapped yet. And it like probably weighed, I don't know, at least like half of me. It was heavy.
What do
I
you
was like,
do with all that?
this is I asked him if he would take it back, and I think he did after I had used all I could of it. And like he did show the guy like the finished photo of my costume and stuff too, so that kind of worked out. But yeah, I definitely had a moment of like, this is just gonna be like a living room coffee table now.
We're just gonna dip this in resin, I guess, and I'm
Yeah.
just gonna use it for something. Does your family like, do they think you just make the coolest shit? Like, do they think it's weird or are they totally on board?
They're on board, especially after the first kind of year of me trying it out. They really wanted me to become an art teacher, and none of us knew the trials and tribulations of becoming a public school teacher today. And I did that. I got my teaching license. I taught for a semester, and I was like, I do not think I could do this.
Yeah, it's hard. What grade?
And high school.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
did like student teaching all grades, and I thought I would end up with like kindergarten through 5th grade, but no, I really liked teaching high school. But there's so many setbacks and like yellow tape kind of situations.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I taught the semester from August to December, and then just went back to substitute teaching the semester after while I kind of thought things over. And it was that February that Taco Bell reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to be in a commercial?"
You were in a
And
commercial?
yeah.
I don't know this at all. That's so sick.
Yeah, it's because I made the dress out of their wrappers for a contest like months before, and I didn't win, but they sent me kind of like a runner-up thing of like a $10 gift card and a T-shirt of the photo of my submission, which was just me wearing the dress. So they sent me an extra large T-shirt of myself.
And a $10 gift card, like, have 3 tacos and a picture of yourself. I love that, Taco Bell. That's that's the most they could afford at that time.
It was kind of charming in just such a weird way. But yeah, out of the blue, they emailed me asking if I was available for a phone call, and I was like, yes, of course. And the woman on the phone was like, we'd like to fly you out for a commercial if you still have that dress. And I did still have that dress, but again, unconventional materials don't last long, so I had to spruce it up. And I think that's when I went back to Taco Bell, and the guy was like, choose your fabric.
I love that.
And so, and this was 2 days before they wanted to fly me out.
Oh my
So
God.
so fast. And so I spruced up the dress. They flew me out. We did the commercial, and they like legitimately hired me to be an actor on the set, and so like it was a paid job, and I got residuals, and it was for 2 different commercials there. And then they're like, "Hey, can we come do where you do your art? Do you have a studio?" And it's like, "I work out in my guest bedroom." And they're like, "Good enough. Can we come film you there for another commercial?"
Really?
And that one's still on YouTube. Um, and so yeah, they flew out to the tiny little town of Cullowhee, North Carolina, out in the middle of the mountains, and just filmed me talking about my costumes and drawing and sewing stuff. My name is Olivia Mears, and I make wearable art. And that for the first time ever, I think I'd lived there at that point about 4 or 5 years. And in the 10 years I lived there, the only time that we had Mormons knock on the door was while the Taco Bell crew was in the living room filming me. And I think I was getting changed or something, but like the director answered the door and was like, "The madam of the house is busy, sorry."
What a like weird like alternate reality that must have been.
Yeah, I think the only thing that can kind of match that is when I don't remember what he was selling, but some salesman came to the door. Or no, it was just a UPS guy uh, dropping off a package that needed to be signed, and I was in full body paint for Sylvanas from World of Warcraft while wearing like a Batman robe with the little ears. And he's like, "I've seen weirder." So
All right then, thank you for my package. Like
yeah, after that happened with all the commercials and, like, getting actually paid to do what I love, my parents were like, "Can you keep doing that? Is that a thing you can do for a living?" And, like, something switched where it's like they weren't pressuring me to go be an art teacher anymore, and it's
yeah.
like, "Okay, this actually makes money and you aren't going to starve."
Yeah. I know that's like every parent's worry, but the second one is like, are you happy doing what you're doing? And they
Yeah,
probably obviously knew you were miserable being an art teacher at the time. Especially like you said, this day and age, I don't know how teachers are doing it right now, personally.
same.
Even pre-pandemic, like I couldn't
Yeah,
do it. So, yeah,
for
I
real.
I totally get it. Um you said musical theater as well.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happened there? What did you? It was like a very brief where you were like, "This is what I want to do," and then it was immediately a no.
Oh, so brief, so brief. I was definitely a theater kid, um, but when I got to auditions, I realized I like to act, I like to sing, I hate dancing. hate
Really?
it. At least, like, in that context.
Yeah.
And that was just a thing I struggled with for a long time, and I still kind of do, just, like, learning how to move my body in front of people that, like, may or may not be watching me. I just yeah, what do I do with my hands? And in theater, like, it's all choreographed, but I still didn't like it,
Yeah.
and I realized, like, this isn't my calling. Like, this was a fun thing to do in high school and, like, as a hobby, and I'll find other places to kind of, like, perform and entertain that isn't this,
Do
and
you feel like
I'm
you
glad
found
I
that?
did. I don't know that, like, that path would have led me to where I'm at now, so, yeah.
But right now I feel like you have a YouTube channel. You get to like post
Mhm.
things. You obviously get to do like if you do commercials or you do like branded stuff, I feel like you already get to like put that acting into play and like do that
Yeah,
fun entertaining stuff. So like it works.
and with my own brand, I get weird with it in a way that I wouldn't be able to with a script.
Yeah, no kidding. Uh in the same vein of like getting to be weird with it. Uh what is your well, I guess we already talked about the thick mushrooms. But I guess like what is your guilty pleasure thing to make that you're like people really don't need this, but like I need it
Hmm.
for me.
Oh, wow, okay. I've not really thought about that. There's a lot of little things that I'll do, like tiny little watercolors of more weird little guys,
Yeah.
and it's mostly frogs and hats right now.
I love
Um,
that so much. I love that so much.
I didn't even realize it was, like, becoming a trend in what I painted. I was just like, "I wanna paint a frog, and he needs a little hat." And then, like, looking back, it's like, "Wow, all of my frogs have hats. This is a series now."
Like the same hat or like different hats? Like you'd put
Different
one in
hats, like,
okay.
one's wearing a little strawberry, one has a little wizard hat, cowboy hat, and then I don't remember what the other hat is. There's a 3rd one. Oh, I think it's an even better wizard hat that's glowing.
It's the wizard hat part 2. And you're
Yeah.
like, this is the stronger frog.
Yeah.
But that is your guilty pleasure that you're like, no one needs this, but like I need this for my soul.
Yeah.
I love
Sometimes,
that.
I'll pack up like, I have a little, like, French easel that I'll pack up and take to the park down the road, and I'll set it up like I'm doing plein air painting, but I'm just painting a little frog in a hat. Like, it has nothing to do with the environment.
Yeah.
And so I'm always worried if someone's gonna come up, like, to look at what I'm painting is to see, like, "Oh, are you painting the river?" No, I'm just standing by the river for inspiration while I paint this goofy little dude.
Yeah. So I'm that was my next question. If you, like no one has come up to you yet and been like,
Not
what
yet.
you doing there?
A dog. A
Okay.
dog has,
That's
yeah.
the only acceptable thing to approach you when you're trying to just enjoy your day.
Yeah, and I think he liked the painting.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
great. I feel like I would have too much social anxiety to just go outside in public and paint. Like, I don't even like filming in public. So the fact that you could just be like, I'm going to go enjoy my day in the public space, like, couldn't be me.
I think I've failed so many times and felt, like, so embarrassed at first that, like, it's been replaced by anger and spite of, "I want to do this, and now nothing is going to stop me."
Okay, good. I love a woman that is just fueled by anger and spite. That is so relatable to me.
Yeah, early on, like, I would set up the camera expecting to do, like, a time lapse, and it's like I get there and my battery's dead, my backup battery is dead. I couldn't figure out how to get the French easel legs to, like, actually balance on the sand, and it was just a mess, and it's like, "You know what? Today's not my day, but next time, and I'm not gonna give a heck."
Yeah. And I'm going to be very angry doing it. And it's going to be like this beautiful, peaceful video of a time
Yeah,
lapse.
and I'm gonna dress even cuter.
Yeah. But behind the perfect like smile, you are fuming.
Oh, yes.
Good, good. I love that. I feel like you're a pretty I'm gonna call you a very private, public facing person. So like what you have out there is very much like your art, your costumes.
Mhm.
There's a lot of your personality in your YouTube channel. You used to stream. You might still stream. I'm not sure how often.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah.
I might,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe one day again.
I'm in the same boat right now, personally, where I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. Like, there's other things. Anyway,
There's so many things.
unrelated completely. I have a list of little questions, and
Mhm.
we're gonna do them fast. Okay, so
Okay.
this is Fast Facts with AvantGeek. Yeah, put the title
Oh
there.
boy.
Me later editing. I'm not gonna remember to do that. Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna put a minute on my phone, and we're gonna just answer some little questions here. Are you ready?
No, but let's go.
Okay.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
Morning or night person?
Night.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Have you ever killed a man?
Not yet.
Least favorite food?
Peas.
If you could be a creature, sorry, I don't know why I stopped on peas. If you could be any creature, what would it be?
Mothman.
Pick a band to play at your funeral.
MCR.
If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. Just pizza. Don't have to worry about food anymore.
What were you most likely to get into trouble for as a kid?
Singing Disney songs way too loud when everyone in the house is sleeping.
Okay. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
And what makes you most qualified for this job?
I don't know. I take the trash. I make a thing. With my hands.
I'm taking the trash and I'm making the thing. Good. That's good. Well, thank you for answering my many questions. Not even gonna question your choice of MCR for your band to play at your funeral. I feel like we grew up with similar music tastes, so like that tracks. But I like that you really
Helena
stuck to your
playing.
guns. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. That's great.
I'm trying to get the light to where I'm not like phasing out in the green screen.
I kind of like that
So I
you
think-
looked like you were a ghost there for a second.
Yeah, I feel at least I feel like ethereal.
Yeah.
Kind of like I will return to the void right after this interview.
I love that. Speaking of ghosts, what are you going to be for Halloween this year? Have you thought about it? Is this a secret?
Oh, this was the conversation I was having with my partner just last night. And I think we've decided on Jack and Wendy from The Shining.
Oh, that's fun.
We like a costume that we can wear mostly just regular clothes.
Yeah.
And just add like a prop or a wig or something, and suddenly, bam, it's a character.
Do people, so if you're like going to a Halloween party and people know you and what you do they expect you to go all out? And is that why you're like, I'm going to keep it real simple for Halloween?
I think most people expect me to either like be wearing a shit post or just like something more casual, because
Yeah.
I do go all out other times. But there's like maybe like 20%, I think, of people who are like, what? Why aren't you like a crazy dragon butterfly?
You're like,
I'm here to have fun and move my arms and legs normally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure that most of the stuff that you're making is like not. I'm not gonna sit at a party with a drink and like I can't in this. This is for photos, and once the photos are done, we're gonna cut this off me later.
Yeah. I went to one Halloween party with the intention. It was at a club and they had a costume contest. I think it was like $100. And it was a club that my partner had played at the week before, and he had been stiffed $50 DJing. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to go win the costume contest.
Hell
Get that
yeah.
money back from them. And so I walk in with like full, what was it? Daedric, like draconic armor from Skyrim.
Yeah.
But with like the dragon wings that would flap.
That's so cool.
By the time I got to the stage, enough drunk women had grinded on me that my dragon wings had broken.
No!
But then two very kind drunk people from the audience also then came up to hold the wings out to show them off on stage. So like it still worked out. I got the $100.
That's
Never again though.
Oh my god, that's really sad, but also very kind of like nice. Like that was very nice of them after having probably had a part in ruining your wings.
It was a spectrum.
Truly. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you won. Was there anyone even remotely in like competition when you were like, I'm going all in?
This was already a small town. And there were like some other costumers in town, but they didn't really vibe with like contests and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I think I was up against a sexy referee or burglar. I don't know. It was black and white stripes.
Okay. Could have been either, really.
And a girl in a cupcake costume, which was very cute, but very simple.
Very stiff competition from what I'm hearing. So like really glad you made it out of that one alive.
Yeah, I just if I could have changed anything, it would have to let everyone know like, hey, I'm not here to actually like compete against you. I'm here because the owner stiffed my boyfriend some money last week.
Like I'm here out of anger and spite, which fuels me in this world.
Yes.
Full circle. Fabulous. All right. Well, I don't want to keep you forever. I know you've got many things to make and
got to go back into the void.
Yes, you have to whatever it's called. I was going to say coalesce. I don't think that's it either. Yeah, you have to just disappear. But where can people find you if they would like to find, not like physically, but where on the internet can people find you?
The void is expanse, and they will never find me. But I'm AvantGeek on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And if Twitter doesn't die soon, I'm AvantGeek Art on there.
Heck yeah. Well, that is where you can go follow her. And thank you again for doing this. I know it took a while to get my schedule in order, and then I was sick, so I appreciate your patience. And that is it for us today. We will see you all in the next video. Bye. Yay!